Hello. Today General Hospital will reveal exciting events in the next 2 weeks from September 8th to 19th, 2025. First, during the week of September 8th to 12th, Cody Bell will find himself in an unexpected but pivotal role as he steps into a protective position for Scout Quartermain at the Quartermain stables. After weeks of uncertainty and questions surrounding Scout's whereabouts, the relief that comes with ensuring her safety marks a turning point not only for Cody's reputation but also for the emotional stability of those around her. His actions allow him to emerge from the shadows of skepticism that have long clouded his presence in Port Charles, reshaping him from a man many dismissed as reckless into someone capable of responsibility and compassion. The Quartermain property, usually filled with its own brand of family conflict and drama, becomes the unlikely backdrop for a moment of redemption that highlights Cody's determination to prove that he is more than the mistakes of his past. Scout's safety and return also carry tremendous weight for her loved ones. The anxiety that surrounded her absence had left lingering doubts about whether the community could keep her protected in the face of mounting dangers connected to Drew Cain's struggles. With Cody ensuring that Scout isn't harmed, the chaos begins to settle, opening the door for her next chapter under new guardianship. For those who care about Scout, the shift from fear to relief is powerful, though it also brings with it new questions about what her day-to-day life will look like and how the bonds she has formed will be reshaped under a different roof. Willow Tate's role in this transition is particularly significant, having endured her own share of loss, health battles, and emotional upheaval. Willow understands the fragile balance between nurturing a child's well-being and protecting her innocence in a town that seems perpetually surrounded by secrets and danger. By stepping into the position of Scout's guardian while Drew remains unavailable, Willow takes on a responsibility that not only tests her strength as a mother figure but also redefines her place within the broader Quartermain and Corinthos networks. Her willingness to care for Scout speaks volumes about her resilience and her commitment to preserving family bonds, even those beyond her own immediate circle. The arrangement brings Scout into the home of Elizabeth Baldwin, a woman who herself has long been the anchor for children caught in the storm of Port Charles conflicts. Elizabeth, no stranger to balancing careers, crises, and motherhood, offers the kind of stability and nurturing environment that Scout desperately needs. The combination of Willow's guardianship and Elizabeth's steady household provides Scout with a unique blend of carry-on grounded in love, empathy, and a shared understanding of what it means to protect children from the turbulence of adult battles. For Scout, this transition is more than a change of address. It represents a chance to heal and to rebuild trust in the world around her. Meanwhile, Cody's role in this chain of events sparks new possibilities for his future. By ensuring Scout's safety, he not only strengthens his standing in the community but also opens the door for deeper connections with those who once doubted him. His bond with Molly Lansing Davis grows stronger, as his protective instincts and ability to step up when it truly matters leave a lasting impression on her. What might have once been a tenuous or overlooked relationship suddenly takes on new meaning, as Molly sees a side of Cody that resonates with her own values of loyalty and accountability. In this way, Scout's ordeal becomes a catalyst not only for Cody's redemption but also for Molly's reevaluation of the people she chooses to trust. This storyline also underscores the ripple effects of Drew Cain's absence. As someone central to Scout's life, Drew's inability to fulfill his role creates both tension and opportunity for those around him. While Willow and Elizabeth provide stability in his stead, the shadow of Drew's struggles lingers in every decision. His absence serves as a reminder of how fragile family structures can be in Port Charles, yet it also reveals the resilience of those who step up when circumstances demand it. The contrast between Drew's challenges and the collective effort to protect Scout highlights both the sacrifices and the strengths that define the community. Ultimately, the week of September 8th to 12th represents a moment of transition and growth for all involved. Scout, though still young, becomes the center of a storyline that ties together themes of redemption, responsibility, and resilience. Cody's actions transform his reputation and open new doors for personal growth. Willow steps into a maternal role that reflects her courage and empathy, and Elizabeth provides the environment necessary for Scout's recovery. In the midst of these changes lies a reminder of the ongoing challenges of life in Port Charles, where families are tested, alliances are reshaped, and individuals are often defined by how they rise to meet the crises that threaten to overwhelm them. Second, the chaos at the Five Poppies Resort finally comes to a close, but the aftermath leaves its mark on every person involved. The rescue mission that saw Jason Morgan, Jocelyn Jacks, and Vaughn navigating danger and uncertainty ends with relief as they all make it back home to Port Charles in one piece. For many who feared the worst, their safe return is nothing short of miraculous. Yet, the true shock comes not from the survival of the mission but from the unexpected presence of Britt Westburn. Hugh's return from presumed absence, or worse, sets the stage for ripple effects across the entire community. Britt's re-emergence in Port Charles is not something anyone anticipated, and it instantly becomes the focal point of whispers, questions, and speculation. Her reputation in town has long been complicated, balancing between redemption arcs and past mistakes that cast shadows over her attempts at starting anew. The fact that she managed to survive the ordeal at Five Poppies raises questions about what exactly happened during her time away, how she endured it, and what secrets she may have brought back with her. Residents who had long since moved on without her must now grapple with what her return means for old relationships and unresolved wounds. For Lulu Spencer and Dante Falconeri, the news of Britt's return is nothing short of stunning. Having experienced their fair share of betrayals, heartbreaks, and complicated entanglements, the idea of Britt walking the streets of Port Charles again is enough to stir deep emotions. Their immediate concern, however, lies with their son Rocco Falconeri. Sooner rather than later, they will need to sit him down and explain the gravity of Britt's return, navigating the difficult space between protecting a child's innocence and preparing him for the reality of Port Charles, where the past rarely stays buried. Their struggle mirrors that of many families in town who must reconcile the old with the new whenever long-lost figures resurface. The emotional centerpiece of Britt's homecoming is undoubtedly the long-awaited reunion with her mother, Liesl Obrecht. For Liesl, Britt's sudden reappearance shatters the grief and regret that have weighed on her since she believed her daughter was lost. This reunion is not simply one of joy but also one of reckoning, as the two must confront the choices, mistakes, and secrets that separated them for so long. Liesl, a woman defined by both her brilliance and her moral ambiguity, finds herself face to face with the daughter she loves fiercely yet has often hurt with her own misdeeds. The encounter promises an emotional storm of love, guilt, forgiveness, and suspicion. Britt herself does not return as the same woman she once was. Her time away, shrouded in the danger of the Five Poppies ordeal, has altered her perspective. She carries with her not only scars but also knowledge that could reshape the balance of power in Port Charles. The community will undoubtedly scrutinize her every move, some seeing her as a survivor who deserves a second chance, while others view her as a complication who could reopen old wounds. How Britt chooses to navigate these expectations will define her trajectory in this new chapter and determine whether her return is a blessing or a curse for those around her. For Jason Morgan, who has been instrumental in ensuring Britt's survival, the implications are equally profound. Jason's steady presence as protector and problem solver once again places him in the center of a storyline that demands both strength and emotional nuance. His history with Britt, complicated yet layered with trust and unspoken connection, resurfaces in ways he cannot ignore. As much as he may try to distance himself from personal entanglements, Britt's return forces him to confront the possibility of unfinished business and the consequences of choices he made years ago. His dynamic with Jocelyn and Vaughn may also shift as their harrowing experience bonds them in ways few others could understand. The return to Port Charles after the chaos of Five Poppies is thus not simply a return to normalcy, but the beginning of a new storm. Britt's presence sets off a chain reaction that touches everyone from Lulu and Dante's family struggles, to Liesl's emotional redemption arc, to Jason's internal conflict, and the broader community's reaction. What begins as relief at the survival of those who face danger quickly evolves into uncertainty as old ghosts rise to the surface and fresh storylines unfold. Port Charles, a city accustomed to shock and upheaval, braces itself once again for the consequences of a single, unexpected return. Third, Michael Corinthos finds himself in a precarious position as suspicions mount around his potential involvement in the events tied to Drew's shooting. Knowing that his freedom and reputation are on the line, Michael recognizes that his best chance of clearing his name rests with Jacinda, the mysterious escort who holds the key to his alibi. Jacinda's disappearance only intensifies the urgency of the situation, pushing Michael to seek out Curtis Ashford for assistance. Curtis's experience in investigations and his ability to navigate both legitimate and shadowy networks make him the perfect ally for Michael, who needs discretion and results more than anything. This partnership not only reflects Michael's desperation but also his growing awareness that he cannot fight this battle alone. Jacinda herself becomes a figure of intrigue and tension. As Michael's strongest alibi, her testimony could exonerate him completely, but her absence raises unsettling questions. Was her disappearance orchestrated to silence her? Did she flee out of fear of retribution? Or does she hold secrets that could implicate more people than just Michael? Every possibility adds weight to Michael's search, making Jacinda not just a witness but the linchpin of a much larger conspiracy. For Michael, every passing day without Jacinda represents a ticking clock that could end in his downfall if she is not found and persuaded to tell her side of the story. Meanwhile, Nina Reeves finds herself in the middle of another complex decision. Known for her ambition and her ability to manipulate situations to her advantage, Nina contemplates a proposal that could have serious ramifications. While the details remain vague, speculation abounds that her plan may connect directly to Jacinda's disappearance or to the broader fallout of Drew's shooting. Nina's involvement signals the potential for another layer of intrigue, as her actions rarely come without personal motives and consequences. Whether she chooses to aid Michael, undermine him, or leverage the situation for her own gain, her role promises to inject further volatility into an already unstable landscape. On the investigative front, Harrison Chase steps into a morally complex role as he continues to unravel the threads of Drew's shooting. Tasked with evaluating evidence and making impartial judgments, Chase faces a significant emotional obstacle: his lingering feelings for Willow Tate. The bond they once shared threatens to cloud his objectivity, forcing him to weigh his professional duty against the remnants of his personal attachments. For Chase, the challenge lies in ensuring that his heart does not interfere with his head, particularly when Willow's connection to Michael and Drew makes her central to the case. His internal struggle highlights the tension between personal loyalties and professional obligations. Dante Falconeri, too, finds himself in a difficult position as he is tasked with investigating Michael. Dante's history with Michael as both a brother figure and a fellow Corinthos family member makes the assignment deeply personal. Balancing loyalty to family with his oath to uphold the law places Dante on a razor's edge, where every choice risks alienating someone he cares about or compromising his integrity as a detective. Investigating Michael forces Dante to question where his true priorities lie and whether justice can ever be impartial in a town as interconnected and emotionally charged as Port Charles. The overlapping threads of Michael's hunt for Jacinda, Chase's conflicted role, Nina's potential maneuvering, and Dante's investigation paint a picture of a community on the brink of a deeper unraveling. Each character's decision has consequences that ripple outward, ensuring that the truth behind Drew's shooting is not just about solving a single crime but about exposing alliances, betrayals, and motives that go far beyond one incident. The crisis becomes a mirror reflecting Port Charles' greatest strengths: loyalty, love, resiliency, as well as its most dangerous flaws, including secrecy, manipulation, and vengeance. As the storyline develops, Michael's desperation, Nina's schemes, Chase's moral struggle, and Dante's conflict intertwine to create a tense and unpredictable path forward. The search for Jacinda may yield the clarity Michael desperately needs, but it could just as easily unearth truths that none of them are prepared to face. With every revelation, the stakes grow higher, not just for Michael but for everyone whose lives are connected to the tangled web of Drew's shooting. Ultimately, Port Charles braces itself once more for the fallout of choices made under pressure, where the line between justice and survival is blurred beyond recognition. Fourth, the week of September 15th to 19th promises to be one filled with emotional tension and tangled loyalties as Jocelyn, Jax, and Vaughn grapple with the fallout of their nightmare mission. Though they will finally see the end of the harrowing ordeal that tested their limits both physically and emotionally, the scars of what they endured together will not fade so easily. Their shared trauma forges a connection that neither of them can ignore, a bond that surpasses friendship and begins to grow into something deeper. This realization leaves both Jocelyn and Vaughn at a crossroads, unsure of how to balance their feelings with the complicated realities of their lives back in Port Charles. For Vaughn, the experience has awakened an unexpected tenderness. He may have entered the mission with a hardened outlook, but fighting side by side with Jocelyn stripped away the layers of his defenses. He begins to see her not only as a brave ally but also as someone who understands his vulnerabilities, which few have ever been allowed to witness. Jocelyn, on the other hand, finds herself torn between the life she has carefully built and the undeniable attraction that continues to grow between her and Vaughn. The intensity of their shared experience makes it nearly impossible to step back into normalcy without acknowledging what has blossomed between them. Standing in the way of their newfound connection, however, is Jack Brennan. His disapproval of Vaughn's closeness to Jocelyn sets up inevitable conflict. Brennan represents authority, expectation, and the weight of a protective presence that refuses to loosen its grip on Jocelyn's choices. Yet, Jocelyn's determination to follow her heart compels her to defy him. Rather than bow to his restrictions, she begins to see secrecy as the only way forward, setting the stage for a clandestine romance that thrives in the shadows. The tension between following duty and pursuing desire ensures that every stolen moment with Vaughn carries both exhilaration and risk. Jocelyn's decision to pursue Vaughn despite Brennan's disapproval illuminates her growth as an independent young woman. No longer content to be told what is best for her, she takes control of her narrative, choosing passion even if it means deception. These secret encounters with Vaughn are not merely about romance. They symbolize her rebellion against being controlled, her insistence on carving out her own path, and her recognition that love can sometimes only survive when it defies the expectations of others. The secrecy only adds fuel to the fire, intensifying their bond as they navigate stolen glances, hidden meetings, and the thrill of forbidden love. Meanwhile, Britt Westburn's return continues to reverberate throughout Port Charles. Having been presumed gone or lost for good, her sudden reappearance brings with it a wave of emotional reactions. Old wounds resurface, long-buried questions are asked, and her mere presence challenges the fragile stability many characters thought they had achieved. Britt must navigate skepticism, anger, and relief, all while proving that she has a rightful place among the people she once called home. Her journey is not simply one of survival but also of reintegration, as she works to rebuild bridges and confront the shadows of her past. One of the most poignant encounters awaiting Britt will be her meeting with Rocco Falconeri. Though she is not his biological mother, the role she played in his life before her absence left an imprint strong enough to shape his identity. For Rocco, the chance to reconnect with Britt is a moment of joy and curiosity, a chance to know more about the woman who once held a maternal place in his heart. His excitement serves as a bright spot amid the darker struggles surrounding Britt's return, offering a reminder that connections forged in love can outlast even the most painful separations. The intertwining of Jocelyn and Vaughn's secret romance with Britt's re-entry into Port Charles creates a week of drama that is both deeply personal and widely impactful. While Jocelyn risks everything for the thrill of love, Britt is forced to confront the consequences of her choices and the reactions of those she left behind. Both women embody resilience and defiance, pushing back against forces that would dictate their lives. As the week unfolds, Port Charles becomes a stage for love, secrecy, and redemption, reminding everyone that the most powerful stories are often those that emerge from the heart's refusal to yield to circumstance. Finally, the impending return of Nathan West promises to be one of the most shocking and emotional events to strike Port Charles in years. Long believed to be gone, Nathan's reappearance will force the entire town to reckon with the ghosts of the past and the secrets that have shaped the present. His return not only raises questions about how he survived but also about who was responsible for keeping him hidden all this time. For fans and characters alike, Nathan's presence will reignite old storylines, reopen wounds, and test loyalties as those who loved him grapple with his re-entry into their lives. The writers of General Hospital have carefully been laying the groundwork for this twist, ensuring that Nathan's comeback is not just a simple resurrection, but a catalyst for upheaval that ripples through every corner of Port Charles. At the center of the current storyline, Jason Morgan finds himself carrying the heavy burden of secrets. He knows more than anyone about Jocelyn Jack's entanglement with the WSB, a revelation that could alter her future and her safety. Yet, Jason must wrestle with the decision of whether to disclose the truth to Carly Spencer, who has already been dealing with her own turmoil and her growing closeness to Jack Brennan. Jason's instincts are always to protect those he loves, but in doing so he risks alienating Carly if she discovers that he withheld vital information. The secrecy places Jason on dangerous emotional ground, testing his loyalty and his ability to balance duty with compassion. For Carly, her budding connection with Brennan complicates everything. While she has always been fiercely loyal to Jason and protective of Jocelyn, her heart has been drawn in unexpected directions. Brennan's presence in her life has awakened feelings she thought she had long buried, but those feelings clash with her maternal instincts and her loyalty to her family. If she learns that Jason has been keeping Jocelyn's involvement with the WSB hidden from her, it could fracture the fragile trust between them. Carly will be left torn between the man she has leaned on for decades and the new romantic path she has begun to explore, a choice that could redefine her relationships for years to come. Jocelyn herself becomes a pivotal figure in the unfolding drama. The young woman's ties to the WSB put her in grave danger, yet they also give her a sense of agency that she has never fully embraced before. Being caught in the middle of these high-stakes secrets forces Jocelyn to grow quickly, making decisions that carry risks far beyond her years. Her connection with Vaughn, and the complicated feelings that have emerged between them, only add another layer of complexity. Jocelyn is pulled in multiple directions toward loyalty to her family, the thrill of independence, and the danger of a world she cannot fully control. Meanwhile, Drew Kane's storyline takes a darker turn as he once again becomes a target for those who want to silence him. Having already survived one attack, the possibility of another ambush looms large, reminding everyone in Port Charles that Drew's position is precarious. His past as a Navy SEAL, his ties to the Quartermain family, and his complicated relationship with Willow Tate all make him both an asset and a liability. Drew's struggle to protect himself while also remaining a father figure and partner underscores the constant tension between his desire for normalcy and the relentless dangers that pursue him. The looming threat to Drew also has wider implications for those closest to him. Willow, having fought so hard to secure her place as a mother and partner, finds herself once again confronted with the possibility of loss. For Michael Corinthos, Drew's potential downfall could not only destabilize the family, but also expose him further to scrutiny as he continues to navigate his own troubles with Jacinda and the investigation into Drew's shooting. The danger surrounding Drew forces everyone to acknowledge that safety in Port Charles is fleeting, and that love and loyalty can quickly turn into targets for exploitation. Nathan's return adds yet another unpredictable dimension to this already volatile mix. His history with Maxie Jones ensures that his reappearance will shake her to her core, reigniting emotions she thought she had put to rest. For Dante Falconeri, Nathan's return raises professional and personal stakes, as the two men shared both a brotherly bond and overlapping responsibilities as law enforcers. Liesl Obrecht, forever tied to Nathan by blood and guilt, will find herself both overjoyed and tormented by his return, forced to confront the choices she made that once endangered him. The revival of Nathan is not just about reuniting him with loved ones but also about tearing open the scars of betrayal, sacrifice, and loss. The writers of General Hospital understand the impact that a character like Nathan can have, and they are clearly building his return to coincide with other explosive developments. By aligning his comeback with Jason's secret keeping, Carly's emotional dilemma, Jocelyn's entanglement with the WSB, and Drew's looming danger, the stage is set for a sweeping narrative that will dominate the canvas. Nathan's presence will inevitably intersect with these ongoing storylines, creating a tapestry of conflict, love, and redemption that fans have come to expect from the soap's most dramatic arcs. For Jason, the convergence of these events will test him more than ever. He must navigate the delicate balance of protecting Jocelyn, managing Carly's shifting loyalties, and anticipating threats against Drew while reconciling his own complicated history with Britt, whose return has already added another emotional weight to his life. Jason's resilience has been tested time and again, but this moment represents one of the rare times where his instinct to remain stoic and unflinching may no longer be enough. He will be forced to make decisions that will alter the course of multiple lives, including his own. Ultimately, the upcoming weeks on General Hospital promise an interwoven storyline of love, danger, and shocking revelations. Nathan's return will bring hope, heartbreak, and upheaval, while Jason's secrets and Drew's vulnerabilities keep the stakes high. Carly's evolving heart, Jocelyn's dangerous entanglements, and the ever-present threats from Port Charles' shadowy forces ensure that every character stands on uncertain ground. The drama lies not only in what has been revealed but in what remains hidden, as secrets, betrayals, and shocking comebacks push Port Charles toward a future that no one can predict.